What is this difficulty? How do we understand that this is very difficult? What is the definition of difficulty? As we work, as we are put to assignments which seems rather difficult to carry it off with ease, is termed as something difficult. Where the alertness of mind is required, where the edge of the mental agility is asked for, we are asked to let go of everything. We are asked to have laser focus at something which requires a lot of concentration. Usually, whatever requires huge volume of concentration is termed as something difficult. So the difficulty here is not just kind of word. If you look at the word difficulty and really create kind of obsession as something is difficult, so the very word difficult and difficulty, they could be two separate words. Because the moment you say difficulty, we become difficult. The moment we become difficult, difficulty is only the path. Whatever it is difficult. That's why we have different level of people with different level of concentration. The more concentration one has, the easier the things get for him or her. There are some people who could find it very easy and can sail through it with the same number of difficulties where a person finds rather insurmountable to be able to get through the process. So if there's anything that requires volume of concentration, it's called difficult. So whatever is difficult depends on how much of concentration is required from you. The more concentration is needed, the more difficult it seems. So when that happens, we want to run away. The natural tendency is to avoid it. Why? To get into the trouble. Whereas there are people with a very natural disposition to deal with any difficult situation. There are people who develop this unique characteristic in themselves to deal with difficulties. They love resolving matters. And these people who love resolving matters are the ones who are the CEO of the company, are the ones who are at the top level of the corporate sector. They are not the ones who have been to the best of institutions of the world, the best corporate business schools of the world. They may not have been, but they are the ones, without having been educated from those institutes, go there to give lecture to those who are being trained. So if you really want to find the real finesse in you, the most important thing is to be able to equip oneself with the circumstances where things are supposed to be challenging. If things are much more difficult, it does mean that it requires concentration. All we want to do is not to run away from difficulty. We would like to take up the challenge. So with this message where difficulty is not difficulty. Difficulty is only the volume of concentration which is asked from us, which we would like to avoid because our senses do not allow. It's not fun having it. But what about creating the character in us which loves resolving very difficult issues, the matters which are rather daunting or insurmountable. As we go through nitty-gritty of these matters, what happens is we in fact overcome our own shortcomings. We overcome our own drawbacks. So it shall be taken up as an opportunity for us to harness those skills, to overcome our own drawbacks. So whenever we are presented with set of these demanding concentrative focus, we gotta take it up. Not to get through it or to be rewarded, that's not important thing at all. Just to overcome our shortcomings, to overcome our drawbacks. You know, as we go through it, we will be really surprised at ourselves at what we could do in our lives. We'll be really in awe of our own abilities, what we are so capable of. Oh my God, I never realized that I was so capable of it. So after having gone through that, some of you could relate to me right now as you hear these words that, yes, of course, what you are saying makes sense to me, because, you know, I was in a situation where I had nowhere to go. I had no one to turn to. And I had to do it. I found myself in such a situation where there was no alternative. There was no option at all. And I thought I wouldn't do it. I won't be able to do it. I would give it up and I will just succumb to the pressure. But I kept going and going on. I don't know how it happened, but I came out of it. And it enhanced my, trust in myself. So the only way you can actually have trust in yourself is to resolve matters. The more you get into resolving matters at your work, at your family matters, the better it is. It actually enhances your ability as a person. It enhances the character in you, which you never believed that you had it, and you always had them. So if you really want to, harness yourself and harness those there's certain skills, and overcome those obstacles, those shortcomings and drawbacks, the only way to do is to find yourself in those set of circumstances which are daunting, which are really compelling, which are so difficult to overcome. And as you surpass them, you will see the character you become. You will see the more evolved human being you become. You will see that the greater possibility of life has always been there, dormant in you. But with these circumstances, you chiseled it and you carved it, you curated your own path, and now be able to be the beacon of light for so many people who draw inspiration from you. You are an example. So congratulations. Enjoy your life. So wish you all the very best.